Okie dokie, on three, two, one. It's the same drill, guys. Yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo. Let's go, go, go. I mean, how much more can we handle? Welcome to watch how Bitcoin is trading in real time with Beauty. Experience these power moves with me. As my description says, there'll be no audio today, but that really is to kind of just set the tone that if the chatbot, because the chatbot was working last night, very thrilled about that, because those time commands I can build out and make sure that all the trader rules and those kind of ideals can be spelled out in the Nightbot. And wow, it was working. And we had a wonderful time last night, wonderful stream last night. And just the conversation allowed for me to just speak naturally on some just general topics, more just kind of life experience approach to some of the questions that were being asked. So I thought we did really good, and the numbers are inching up because you know that I'm under this challenge to get to 10,000 lifetime viewers. And I know it might seem kind of silly to someone that's listening. Why wouldn't she have 10,000 lifetime viewers in 8 years? I don't know. We talked about this last night. I don't know. But if I can, do some Goldilocks work out there and bring you guys the market when the market is moving, so that we can talk about something that's dear to me and something that I know about, then this is a good day. You're looking at a 15-minute Coinbase chart, BTC USD 15-minute chart, and we came in last night. I had built this little Fibonacci swing here just as a demonstration, actually, so that you guys could see how I put some kind of structural tools to see about price development and what's the potential of price going forward. And then sure enough, here would we be at the 786 level here at 17,990.22. And during the stream, what I'm putting forth here, at least for the next few hours, is that we see 18,000. You can see that I have a higher print up here, which is the 18,690 print. So this swing is actually the XBT1 from the 15,420 to the 18,690. So this is another market, but showing you the numbers and how there might be correlation. I did see a correlation yesterday. Difficult to explain what this is, but the apex here, you'll see. I'm going to do that measured move to show you kind of what happened when this blew out here. This blowout here is the distance of the heel here. But this is what's called a continuation pattern. It blows out. Traders think that, okay, this is it, but this was one candle after the 75% marker here. So I could probably do a full lesson on when you're able to get these channel lines going, either a channel. There are also measurements that you can take inside of a channel, but especially an asymmetrical triangle, that this apex here, if you'll notice, the apex was right at the 382 line of the XBT1. And I'm using these numbers, by the way, from the XBT1 because they're just cleaner, cleaner numbers. So that's why I put them in the chart, high to low, and of course those numbers are probably changed. So we'll have to have a new session and change those numbers up and see if the Fibonacci will guide us in any way. We know that we're in full Ruby. I think everyone probably gets that part. But I'll move into the hour so that you can see what is that? What's that? Ruby is just a sequence of EMAs and allows for us to start off with a cross, which is the 841 cross. And that is what happened right there, this area, this zone of the chart. And each one of these lines represents an EMA. And when I get the Nightbot going, there'll be the rules, the this rule set for Ruby. But we've been in full Ruby long since back here, and that would have been when we were trading at 15,145, and now we're trading at 17,988. So, caution to anyone, right? I think that most of us have heard this from me, that this is really about trade management than anything else. It's really not about indicators so much. It's about trade management and what your forecast, what your particular projection is for the price, and then make sure, that your runners, that that you've got a couple runners that are able to take the risk of these higher prints. And then we look back and make sure that the structure of the prior moves validate the next move up. And then you can start to manage it again, etc. Anyway, that's a little too much for the introduction, I'm pretty sure. Let me go back to the Hangout. And then we will make sure that we're over at YouTube fine enough. So let's go over to YouTube. And we are live right there. Looks so dark and moody though, doesn't it? The here, live right there. And there's our chat. XPT1. So there we go. The futures has hit 18,670. So we are at an all-time high for the futures market at 18,670 now, but having hit 18,700 forever in the books, 18,700, the all-time high of the futures market, only in its third session. Congratulations. Dokes. Okay, guys, we will be pulling the chart out a little bit from the 1 minute. If you see the chart move around. I'm going to kind of see what's happening with this price decline here. We're still up 4.18% on the day, but the last series of an hour and a half worth of candles, actually the third 30-minute bar did open short or bear. So we want to keep an eye on this to see whether or not it's actually just going to prove out to be a fractal and it's just earning its right to take up another leg up. We know that it can hit the 17,440 line and still be, structurally okay. We also know that this wick here, the high wick of 17,493, just a little dollars off, that will act as a support level. So whether it's the 618 based on the CBOE numbers or it's this wick over here, we should see that there'll be some support level there. It'll also be the second tag of support, being that there's this bar at the 1749, 17,490 line right here. So somewhere in there, there should be a little bit of a catch. It's also at the 8. The Ruby's 8 has migrated up there and become rather ledged and flattened. So that all speaks of, that's all that it is. It's just a little bit of a ledge pullback. Of course, it seems very dramatic when we're on the 1 minute, but it's a little candle pullback. I don't know how many candles this can pull back. It looks like there's room for another candle, maybe even another candle after that, until things become more cautionary. Go back into the 15-minute so we can kind of see what's happening there. We've got some protective covering here. Just a little bit though. And then we're constantly looking for any signs whatsoever, whether they are channels, whether they are apexes, anything at all that can help us determine how deep this can go, and then we can adjust our risk models accordingly. Got it? I think so. Oh, that's funny. Okay. It's all very cautionary, so make sure that she's written down the reasons why. There's this great saying that's called, why here, why now? Including the time of day. Why here, why now? And my disclaimer, actually, and High West too. I'll put my disclaimer on the chart today, and I have several of these out there. I think I mentioned this last night. But I think it might be a good idea that the one that is actually on the chart is the best one to read, kind of thing. Like the easiest to read. And so I need to work on that today. A lot of things to work on today. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead, and the disclaimer reads, please be advised that all content in the charts shown is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading the stock, bond, currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and futures markets can be rewarding, but is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money and in some ways lose more than you have. It can also be profitable, but not without significant risks. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. The charts shown are not to serve as an investment advisory service. I highly encourage you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information that you may get from the charts that I share or show, and further discussion outside of the YouTube, let's such say in chat rooms or other forums, may not reflect my opinions, of course, at the time that we were drawing the chart. Well, one reason is that we are in a very volatile product. The charts shown and their content is not a solicitation, nor an offer for professional investment, nor is it an offer to buy or sell stocks, bonds, currency, cryptocurrencies, commodities, and or futures. We go on that. There's another little bit that I talk about as far as affiliation. A lot of people misunderstand that I have some sort of affiliation with TradingView. That's kind of waned over the years, but I have no professional affiliation. I have no solicitation affiliation. I'm not affiliated with TradingView whatsoever. I simply have, and I have a pedestrian account. I have a free account with them, and I just go in and I use the interface. If you're interested at all in doing it the way that I do it, and going in and learning how to use the interface, all you have to do is ask me, and I am very happy to share with you what I know about the interface. And it is the best that's out there, but it's not the only one. And traders, for the most part, will try and find other programs because maybe they don't like certain things or certain people, or so they'll go out and they'll seek out different interfaces that are available. But for me, TradingView has, as an interface now, as a technology, is beyond compare. You really cannot find anything that's better. And then their library of the offerings is just beyond compare for what is free. Most products like this, especially if you're dealing with the futures products, the exchanges have to be compensated. That's part of the laws. That's why you see. I wish I really knew exactly how this works, but you'll notice that the exchanges do not offer real-time data to the public. That real-time data is paid for by their clients, and so the data that you get is not offered in real time. Same thing over at TradingView. The real-time futures data will not be offered over there for free. You will pay for that exchange feed, and you can visit their paid products if you want to know more about their costs. Their costs can be anywhere from $50 a month for a feed to $100 a month is very kind of classically advertised. And then if you're on an actual exchange, then there are other products that you can pay for, and on a rate card and exponentially. The more you pay, because it is a pay-to-play. The fact that the Bitcoiner thinks that everything is free, that was an advertising ploy to get you involved and onto their exchanges. So nothing about this is free, guys, at all. If you're not paying, and if you're not paying to play, there are costs down the road, certainly. Talk about exchange hacks. Let me see. All right, so we're getting very leggy wicks in the 15 minutes. So there's a lot that can be said about that. It means that there's less risk-taking but more volatility. And so we'll just watch and see how this all works out. And so let's kind of talk about the XBT day high was $18,760. The trade right now is $18,430. So the trade is off, but the volume has picked up. I think overnight we were getting not single digits, double digits, and now the volume's picked up to 1,297 contracts on the CBOE futures product, the XBT.1. And 10 minutes ago, so their delay is 10 minutes. And it's not the easiest thing to copy and paste, but I will give it a try, see what that looks like. And we'll do pricing. And that is the XBT product. This is when I want my Zep coin. And that is the product right now. This is the volume. I'm going to keep an eye on the volume, especially on the futures product while we can. Of course, once the CME product comes out, then trying to keep up with those volumes might be a little, to aggregate the volume might be a little bit different. Over at CoinMarketCap, let's see how our total market is right now. And I'll go ahead and I'll read through. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, IOTA in number 5, Ripple, Dash, NEM, Monero, and Bitcoin Gold. Those are your top 10s, followed by Cardano, etc., etc. So those are your top 10. The top 10 seem to be pretty jumpy too. It's a horse race over there. Okay, where is mine? There we go. So this is the total market cap right now. And I'd like to get my total market cap from the messenger bot. Let's see. All right, I'm asking Zupcoin if it can manage that. Okay, let's get back over to Russell Rhodes. And let me kind of give you an idea who Russell Rhodes is. And he's been around. He's the fellow that wrote the blog on the CBOE product. So let me get his about page over here. And about Russell. Yes, he's been around. Russell Rhodes. He is the director. What does it say here? Hold it up a little bit differently. He is the Director, Product Advancement Global Derivatives at CBOE Global Markets. Okay, imagine that. He's a Chief Financial Analyst. This guy is a no joke. And he is often on the Benzinga and all of the other media outlets. And very, very nice guy. Right? Super, super nice, super well-spoken, friendly, funny, etc. So this is what he has to say about what his blog was all about today, called Hedging Bitcoin with XBT Bitcoin Futures. Last night, CBOE, XBT, and they did trademark Bitcoin futures, commenced trading on the CBOE Futures Exchange. The launch was smooth, although our website experienced some issues due to an overwhelming number of hits looking for the trading data. Now that the futures are up and running, it may be time for a brief explanation of how an owner of Bitcoins may use futures to hedge their position. The initial futures contracts that traded in Chicago were on crops such as corn or wheat. Farmers could use futures to lock in a selling price before they even planted their crops for the growing season. Bitcoin futures allow market participants the ability to lock in a selling price for Bitcoin as of a future date. Currently, the front month future is the January contract, which at last check could be sold for $17,600. This contract settles in a cash transfer based on the 4 p.m. Eastern Bitcoin auction price on Wednesday, January 17th, established by Gemini, who is partnering with CBOE Global Markets. The Bitcoin price at Gemini is close to 16,600. So I will use that for the underlying Bitcoin price in this example. Let's say Larry owns 1 Bitcoin and the current price is $16,600. He believes the price is overdone to the upside for a short period of time. This is a fictional example, so don't beat me up on the outlook. You can criticize Larry, but he's made up too. Larry has a futures account and sees that he can sell short a January XBT future at 17,600. He decides to do this and is now short 1 January XBT future at 17,600. He now is long and short a January XBT futures contract. Let's forward to settlement on January 17th. Larry has held is futures through, that's misspelled, is futures through the settlement, and here are the potential outcomes based on various settlement prices. Now that any losses on the Bitcoin position is offset by the short position in the January XBT futures contract, because the Jan XBT was trading at a $1,000 premium to spot Bitcoin, the profit for this trade is equal to the difference. Now keep in mind, if Bitcoin doubles between now and January 17 settlement, the maximum profit is $1,000. Larry is giving up some upside to assure a return of $1,000. Finally, Larry can always cover his short in the XBT futures contract if Bitcoin drops dramatically on the short term and the futures contract drops in line with the spot price. He could always buy back in the future, take a profit, and have that profit offset the unrealized loss he experienced in his spot Bitcoin. If you want to learn more about Bitcoin futures, you'll visit cboe.com/XBT. Okie dokes. No, that didn't put everybody to sleep. Let's see. Okie dokie. So we have the hedging article, the blog from Russell, and then here is the learn more about the futures on another hedging Bitcoin with XBT by Russell Rhodes. And that one just took us right back to this one. Want to learn more about, so they're redirecting. Their redirect is a little wonky, but what we can do is we'll keep an eye on it by taking the link anyway, even though the link is weird now. Learn more. And that is where you would go to learn more. Okay, so we have the market cap going, the top 10, what's happening at CBOE. Okay, it looks like Vinny Lingham has put out a call to action for people that, how did he word it? He said, "Who is your most respected source of crypto Bitcoin information? Please post replies. I'm interested to see whose names pop up." So I'm pretty familiar with a lot of these names. The conference names, I think, are most interesting because they actually prepare their talk. They are usually prolific over at Core or any other thoughtful place where um, the code is being, is under custodial view and making sure that it's nice and strong. So this is a list of those individuals over on Twitter that's coming from a fellow whose name, a Martin. He's someone from Inceptus Capital, and he's followed by The Pitch and two others. His name is Martin Skakala. And so he's put together a pretty decent list over at Twitter. And I will post that list of people here, including Nick Szabo, Ari Paul, Tur Demarster, Vitalik, Peter Brandt. Just an interesting collection of people. These are people that are over at Twitter. Going down, some people saying themselves. People that want to say that they used to be a fan of other people, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll go ahead and I'll put the copy of the link, copy of the tweet in the box, in the chat. And this is Vinny's tweet. And there you go on that. Oh, I should have put some asterisks after that. So now's the time. Get yourself a nice, start yourself a list over at Twitter, so that you can begin to follow people. And here's another group that I didn't see on that other one. Nick is there, but not Fluffy Pony, Satoshi Light, Jimmy Song. Go ahead and grab these folks. And so Nick Szabo was already in the one up above, so we'll take his name off. Fluffy Pony was not. Adam was not. Satoshi Light was not. Jameson Lop was not. And Jimmy Song. There we go. Keep going. John Medici, Parabolic Traveler, Peter Brandt, Crypto Ranch, and Venture Coinist. Okay, we'll grab these people. And it seems as though Peter Brandt now has been mentioned twice. And let's see here. Peter Brandt was mentioned twice from up above. And so these are new people here. I'm going to take that Peter Brandt off there and add those people. And let's see, Recline. Up to this point, Eric Voorhees is now being mentioned, so I'll put his name in. I don't think he was on the list above. No, he was not. Okay, I'm still on mic. Want to follow? Let's see. Nick Szabo being mentioned again, of course, Andreas Antonopoulos. Someone mentioning that Twitter is their best resource. This is an interesting list. Okay, this is an interesting list. Go ahead and add these people. And you can see that there are many, probably a list of 1,000 easily. And people, of course, in different genres, and then there's cross genres and interests. Also people showcasing their blocked lists. Let me go down to the bottom. I think he's received quite a few responses here. Okay, yeah, it's a very popular post today. Good for Vinny. It's a good, especially this time of year, it's a good thing to start off the new year with a list of people to follow. Okay, there's also an event today. Getting back to some of the things that you can busy yourself with. I believe that Jimmy Song is going to be interviewing Roger, and he's got it on a 6-hour reminder, but it will be going live in an hour. And so here's the reminder, and with a very active chat, 119 people in the chat right now waiting for this interview. So that's in 60 minutes. We will be headed there and interview with Roger. And Jimmy's hosting that event. You'll notice that people are crazy mad. Meaning, you know, they're like 119 people are waiting, 31 upvotes, and I have no idea how many posts that he's had in the chat. I think I can pop out the chat. I don't know if I can do participants list. I don't know about that. Looks like there's only maybe 3 participants that actually have working YouTube channels. I'm not too sure. So I wouldn't doubt that, but we'll go ahead and we'll pop the chat out. And let me put the chat, how should I do this? Because obviously I can make the chat full screen. Let me see what I want to do. This is Jimmy's chat as it is right now, but you can pop it out yourself. So this is what would be called the green room. That is the pop out for that. So that could be pretty interesting. And as I said, 59 minutes, 14 seconds to go. Now with 127 people waiting. And they will be discussing Bitcoin Cash and scaling. And then Jimmy, in his About page, he has his GitHub, Twitter, Medium, his own newsletter, and his seminar. Information on his seminar over there at Jimmy Song's Off Chain with Jimmy Song. Okay, so we've got that to look forward to. I have to plug myself in. And so I'm thinking that what we'll do is, once he goes live, unless there's activity, I'll go ahead and put myself on mute, or we may even close the broadcast down. Okay, we're down $95, trading at 18.4 for the XBT.1 SBOE futures contract. And so it's okay. We are well after the lunch hour. What do you mean? Like all of Jimmy's stuff? Tell me. Tell me, Wes. See, I have to get this situated so that it acts like more like a call-in show, you know, where I give you the Hangout link, right? What do you mean? Why are you retracting your own message? Yes, it's all free until you pay for it. Yes, it's all free until you pay for it. Isn't that crazy? I will go ahead and put up my block address. And here, I'll go ahead and put up the full, although I don't think you can open it up that way. But if you are so inclined, you can send donations. They are called donations. Yes, they are. Yes, because it was sloppy. Yes, the cast that you invited us to verbally. Okay, so hold on just a moment. Let me get this out here. So, because there's a command for this. If you enjoy, right, and want more, then you need to make a donation to my Bitcoin address. There's different ways to say this too, okay? And the address is that address right there. There's different ways of saying this too. Like if you go over to Patreon, there's many different ways that people come forward with, you know, if you want to see more than what one does, just like in the, you know, in Caesar's time, is that you know, throw flowers out. And so, or you make some sort of token of, to continue. I look at it this way now. I really do. If you want my relationship with you to be known for the rest of man, then you will put it on the blockchain. That's what you will do. And that relationship, whether it's one Bitcoin, whether it is literally just dust, it will be on the blockchain and on the original chain for all of mankind, for all of time, forever. Forever. So it's a very clever way of, like, I'm just, because I've been trying to think about who everyone is in all of this, right? And not on the personal side at all, but why do we matter? Especially if you are on the original chain. You know, like my original cheese tweet, that's on the blockchain. That transaction is on the blockchain, and it will be there for all of mankind forever and ever. So if you want this relationship, the relationship that you have with me, to be recognized on the blockchain, then you should send me some dust. Now, ChangeTip did this to get people involved in knowing about the technology. Many different people have done this. It was called like swapping dust in the day, you know? And we need some of the hot links you are mentioning in the description. We need some of the hot links. Hot links. I went in, let's build it, co-host metrics, bam. Well, yeah, I think that it should feel like a call-in like it did in the day. In the day, the Hangout link was distributed, and traders from all over the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, when Google let you schedule, as long as we had someone sitting, it didn't have to be the host. In the day, as long as you had someone sitting, then you would be able to keep the Hangout open. So it was for family, for corporate meetings, events, lightning conferences, and that sort of thing. So as long as you had one person. Now, of course, all of that has changed. We can go. My longest, I think, has been 15 hours, and then of course the stream starts to degrade a little bit. But yeah, I think it should feel like that totally. You know, it should be like a call-in. Come on in and let me know what's on your mind. Because, you know, the chat, an ephemeral chat doesn't give you, you know, all of that texture that one needs in order to grow and prosper. Okay, let's see what's going on over at the Steemit. Yes, today would have been, I believe, our 4th ever. I think maybe I should mark them off as to what number. But we, an hour ago, we have 8 posts. So we're looking for not followers, not people. We're looking for who to follow so that we can get more connected with the Steemit posters. So I was very pleased to see, and I found it over at the Discord channel, the number of posters. Okay, guess what? This is the first time Discord. It's a little late, Discord, but here's what Discord has to say. Help save net neutrality. Bullet point number 1, the FCC is voting to repeal net neutrality in less than 48 hours. This can lead to dropped calls, laggy games, or worse. Next bullet. Please support net neutrality by calling your local congressperson and voicing your support. Click here to easily place a call. Battle for the Net will connect you with your representative. Battle for the Net. So Discord has created its own VoIP. That is wild. Wow. Okay, and you know that we do have a Discord. Chat Connect has a Discord. Let me make sure that you guys get this, though. This is what is happening with the net neutrality. You have a story on Steemit. Well, okay. Under the, give me your poster's name. Let me go over there and see what you've got. So this is what's happening over at Discord, guys. And okay, that's 319 characters, so that's not going to work. Click here easily. Let's see if I take that out, if that works. No. Please support, I need to take that out. And then it's 130. And then please support is here. Next. Please support. This is a continuation of the Discord call out and call to action. I was surprised that they're letting this go a little late. It's the first time that I've ever seen it on my opening page of Discord. Let me go on that little piece of business there. Battle for the Net. Gee whiz. Well, that shows you something. You know, the Discord is going to connect you with your congressperson. Okay. Oh, I got some messages. It's okay. So Discord does this. Discord exists because the open internet gave us a chance. Help stop the FCC from stifling future innovation. Take action. And I have no idea where the take action button takes us. So this is sort of the thing I'm talking about, guys. Do you understand? It's free, and they were open to build, but I know that this take action button, I have no idea where that's actually taking me. That is not control of your own experience on the internet. It is their control of your experience on the internet. So just in that, it should be like things need to change. It should just tell me where I'm going with that. That is a blind clickbait link, and I love Discord. You know, we have our own Discord. Chart Chat Connect has its own Discord, and yet, you know, I think that it should say where that's going to take me. Not so crazy about that. Okay. And then let me make sure that my Discord knows that I'm live. And then I'll get back, Wes. Definitely, I will get back. So that we will be looking at where the hearings, where the live streaming will be coming from for the hearings. Usually they are through C-SPAN, usually. So I'll make sure about that. Okay, and then I need Wes's, what do I need from Wes? Wes, I need your Steemit article. I'll take that link to Discord. Okay, let me catch up on Wes. Swapping the dust. Wes says you could fairly easily package highlights from these in 5-minute segments on Anchor, then compile to an episode. And Wes has a story on Steemit, and he's going to make a link. I'll take that link for Discord. Oh, you mean my Discord, the Chart Chat Connect? Yeah, you got it. I believe the Steemit invite link should be working today. I don't really think that they give you a brand new link every single time, but we put the invite link in the last post, and it should work. See if it does. Yes. Oh, I see what they do. I see what they do. They have a forwarding. Okay, there we go. All right, guys, this is the Discord channel, and this was an invite exclusive for Steemit. What I'll do is I'll say this is an invite exclusive for YouTube. And there we go. That was the Discord. The Chart Chat Connect. Okay, guys. I'm going to turn that on. 18,360 is our price on the CBOE, and let me check and make sure what we've got going on. All right, so we had the pullback. We're now trading at $17,850. So we're basically kind of filling in this Fibonacci range, it looks like, that's coming off of the CBOE opening prints that took us to 18,149.99. And I do have some numbers I have to readjust before we get too long. I'll try and do that while we're on the break listening to Jimmy's event. And then let me go off audio for just a moment to figure some stuff out. Let me get rid of Jimmy's chat. Okay, do that. I'm not using it. There's something that's eating up the CPU over here. To figure that out. See all the things I have to figure out. A lot of things, right? I'll be on mute. Okay, I'll be back, guys. Okay, so if you're watching the replay, you'll notice that I went ahead and I removed the Fibonacci. So that was just the drawing that was the range of the low to the high, or the high to the low for the CBOE futures product and their pricing. So probably later today, maybe between 5 and 6, I'll go ahead and I will make sure that we have the, and it's called a progressive, make sure that every day we have the prior, high, and low so that we can draw out the Fibonacci and then relate it to the price as it is. There are some correlations that definitely we were able to find in that. The 318 correlation on the flag, that was like perfect. The 382 bounce off of that J hook, I think you guys probably caught that yesterday. So it's useful. There's a lot of education out there about how to read a Fibonacci. And we're actually right at that module over at Baby Pips, but they're so kind of anti-Fibonacci that in reading it through, I thought the dry read, it has so much cynicism about it, and there's just all sorts of really cool videos out there about Fibonacci. And there's even a great mathematician out of Stanford that travels around debunking the Fibonacci, and those videos are absolutely fat. You learn more about Fibonacci by listening to really smart people debunk the theory. So I should probably share some of those videos with you guys, because I'm certainly not here to, say to you, oh, you should, trade off Fibonacci. I only use them to establish where there might be correlation in price from prior movement, whether there's support and resistance at these important valid levels. There's a lot of validity around having Fibonacci. This is why you can't go onto any charting interface without finding a Fibonacci drawing tool available to you. So, if there was that much of an outcry that it just simply didn't work after all of these decades of us being able to use a tool, then the tool would not be on the platforms. So clearly people use them. They use them different ways. There's some really smart people, the way that they will change the settings to go along with their own thesis, their training, their guru work that they do. So, we could spend a lot of time in Fibonacci, and I really should just go ahead and power through the Baby Pips Fibonacci. As I had said that I would do, I just got to that part in there in the website, and I was like, you know what, this isn't, thank you, Sean. I got it. Yes, I've been sharing that here over in my chat. Love bug, Sean. Thank you. So, I'll finish up the Baby Pips, but with these caveats that You know, just because I'm sharing their coursework doesn't mean that I necessarily agree in their personality to, you know, be so negative. You know, why don't you just give us what you got, you know? And so what was I going to say? So Sean, you know, I did the pop out of the chat, which is really fantastic. I don't use OBS, or else I would have brought your chat over here. But if there is anyone that can hear me, what you do is that you pop out the chat. And most of the gamers know how to do this, but you can pop out the chat and then put it up on a scene so that you can see the chat. I mean, I could do it, being that the trade is working this way, if you guys wanted to kind of see that. Then why don't I give it a try? Hold on just a moment. Let me go over to Jimmy's. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. Yeah, you know what I'll do? I will send you a song that reminds me every time Jimmy comes online, I am reminded of this song. I'm at 55. Let me see, which one do I want to give you guys, though, with embedded lyrics. Well, it's just a little short song anyway, so hold on just a minute. Just give you the link, because I don't think I can play it on. This reminds me of Jimmy. Oh, let's see here. Okay, this is the song that reminds me of Jimmy. This is my song for Jimmy today. All right, the Nightbot. You know, I think you guys probably know what to do. It's an application window. So you just drop down your application window, open up the chat, expand it, and then put it back as an application window. And boom, shakalaka. You can watch another chat. But I think it's pretty wild over there right now, so stay out of the wildness till it goes live. And I think maybe a pre-recorded. I mean, he should probably have let us know. I'm not really too sure how he's going to handle it, but if it's a pre-recorded video, then, you know, to have a 6 hour lead time for pre-recorded, that I don't know how that's going to go over. But it's over on Twitter too. Just look up Jimmy Song. There's 228 people waiting in the wings, and many people participating in the chat. And I don't see Sean over here. Sean, where are you in the chat? Dude. Participants. Okay, let me see if I can find you. There's Jimmy. Veer is over there. Breaking Down Bitcoin is over there. But Sean, I don't see you. You haven't even said anything over the chat. Silly. Guys. Here, I made it. And in full disclosure, I have nothing against Roger Ver. I have been in many conversations with people that have things against Roger. I personally do not have anything against Roger. Arguments against another human being in space, the way that they've gone down, are untenable, unnecessary. They're swarthy. And I know precisely how these things go about because I've been involved in the underbelly and the underpinnings of how these triggers are set. Triggers have been set on myself. I know that a lot of you that have been on the internet for a long time know how to do these things and how to twist words and how to make someone appear in all sorts of horrible ways. It's never a good way, by the way. It's never good. And if there is a horde of people that want to make you look bad, that will happen. Two, that if there's a horde of people that want to make you look good no matter how bad you are, and I'm talking about there's some filthy people in the space, but no matter how bad you are, how filthy you are, there will be a horde of people that support you. So it goes in both directions. But I think for us as contributors to the space, observers, you know, of the industry, for us to, you know, do gangland kind of reactions, this is really not a way to encourage growth and prosperity at all. And I hear a lot of people that, you know, think that they're taking a political view by owning Bitcoin, but I don't see the results. And I've been watching and observing for a very long time. I just don't see the results. I see a lot of troll in, troll out. And I've said very openly, it's not going to last. And you guys are going to go down in that genre, kicking and screaming your heads off. And if you are in some Bitcoin forums, you will hear it. They are kicking and screaming their heads off. Instead of being decent people, be decent and good people. You don't have to agree with everyone. You don't have to be friends with everyone. You don't have to do any of that. But you don't have to be unkind, absolutely ridiculous, troll in, troll out. That's just, and some of these people I've known for a very long time, and I'll tell you what, it is troll in, and they're still trolling, and they think that it's going to work out. And outside of shaming someone and triggering them and saying the same kinds of things, questioning their mental stability, questioning their, that's the bigger one. The troll will always question your mental stability, and then they'll claim that you have no value in the space. It's the same 10, 12 things that that I've heard. I know maybe some of you have even participated in these kinds of, gang hoarding, stupid bully crap. And it's the thing that's really crazy is that the price right now, the future price, the future of who we are in the space is valued at, in the legacy market, at $18,350 a coin. Now, what else do you want? You know what I mean? There's so much good that you can do with that. Why don't you become a speaker? Why don't you write a book? Why don't you go on television? Why don't you go into schools? Why don't you have dinners? Get invited to the Satoshi Roundtable. Be part of CORE. Donate to Andreas Antonopoulos. Now, why are we not seeing that from you? So this is why I think the troll in, troll out, really, none of this is going to make any sense. And in a few years, maybe you'll look back and go, now I get it. Because it's not going to make any sense. When XBT1 is trading for $100,000 a unit, a coin, and there's still this going on, then there is something systemic. And once that is found out, then you'll get exactly what I've heard some people want. They don't care. They don't care if it goes to zero. It's the purpose of Bitcoin that is so important. Do you know how many lost dreams there will be if that happens? You know how many people will be destroyed because if that was to happen? So why are we really all here? Make money to do good, people. Make money to do good. Everything that you should be involved in right now at this moment should be to make money to do good, to know what it is to make money, whether you're a miner, whether you're supporting CORE, whether you are out there sharing with your community, all of those things. There's dozens and dozens of things that you can do that promote Bitcoin, that promote the projects. And I think that you might want to think about doing some of that. Let's see here. Okay, so the CBOE product is trading at $18,360. And we are down a little bit, but we're keeping it on the 1 minute so that you guys can kind of see the structure. And we can talk more about this maybe after the interview. If we can see, if we can isolate and locate some trends or patterns so that we can figure out whether or not the trade is actually going to come into Ruby. You'll see me say that, but what will happen is that the 8 will get broken down and the price will begin to pierce this area of Ruby, the green part. And if there's any weakening whatsoever in this long, this is the first, it's not really the first sign. The first sign is that to recognize that we did actually hit an all-time high and that we are sliding off of that all-time high for different reasons. If it is that we're able to find out that there's a slowing leading in to the hour blackout period, then that will be very helpful to the futures trader in the coming months as this thing tries to stabilize and be more natural to the legacy market. So, we'll just have to see. And I'll be on mute for just a little bit. 306 people waiting in Jimmy's event. 306. And the clever thing about Jimmy is that, first of all, he came in with a plan. And, he has this programming Bitcoin course. And he very quickly, with his tone and attitude and just a really pleasant guy, just amassed this tremendous following. And it once again, like I was talking about last night, it goes back to, people will support and contribute to those people that they care about. And Jimmy is just, he really is a very, very nice person, super smart. And I thought that it was a great deal that he went out there to do this coursework, because the hiring of people that have any kind of blockchain, of course, it's a good idea to have work experience, but what he did was that he acted as a launching pad for people that were, junior, what maybe even, pardon me, it's called when you're an intern. So, like a third level intern, but you could find yourself in a field of expertise that is highly prized right now. So, I mean, he's a smart guy. He has a good CV. He's a smart guy. People like him. And it's just, it's just amazing. And this is just people waiting. They've been waiting. He has had the reservation on YouTube for 6 hours. And I don't know how many people have stayed with him for the entire time, but an active chat. And so what are you going to do? It's just something else, And he's doing a lot of things that are right and need to be, really looked at. So whenever he goes live, or if you ever see his Off with Jimmy song, that channel, then definitely get notified for Jimmy. And you'll notice that up above, when we were putting together the list of people that Vinny, was kind of crowdsourcing us, you'll notice that Jimmy Song's name was on that list. Okay, let's get back to the trade for just a moment. Of course, we are off the highs, but there's a lot of left shoulder, right shoulder, apex, right shoulder, a lot of volatility as we are pulling back to 17,522 and a penny. We're still up on the session, 3.77%. I don't know if we are going to be flirting with lows. We certainly have, we're just at that moment in time where we would get a double bottom there. And if we go a little bit further, then we will get into a territory inside of Ruby that's below the 8, and maybe triple bottoms. We might be able to get a pickup there. So being very diligent to watch the trade activity. Okay. And